Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As the existence expresses at three levels, this is one of the most important aspects of the thoughts presented in our Upanishads or Gita. And therefore, every mantra has got these three aspects included in the meaning. So when we talk about the anything, let's take a sun, or we talk about the river, or we talk about the person, all of them have got these three aspects. One is the Adi Bhautik, pertaining to the gross matter. Second is the expression of the absolute through the limitations of the gross matter, called as Adi Devik. And the third one is the Adhyatmic, the absolute reality that is expressing through these limitations. Okay. So, for example, our body. So, body is Adi Bhautik. So, for the maintenance of the life in the body, we require food, water, etc., shelter, Adi Bhautik. Then, the body is not living for itself. The eyes are not seeing for themselves. The ears are not hearing for them. Through the body, somebody is expressing. That somebody which is recognized as the limited expression of the infinite, called as soul or the jiva, is Adi Daivik. The gross body, Adi Bhautik. The expression of life, Adi Daivik. And that which is expressing through everybody is Adhyatmic. If this is clear, then on the foundation of this understanding, look at any mantra in a Upanishad or Gita. And then we will come to know that the spiritual practice is different than the religious practice and the philosophy. In religious practices, what is done is we are leading the life at the level of the gross body, and therefore we should not hurt others, we should help everybody, we should do charity, we should construct buildings for the people to live, so that when the buildings collapse, they are liberated. In this manner, the Adi Bhautik aspect is living at the level of the body. And when we are living at the level of the body, there is only one way things can be controlled. It is not by love, it is not by logic, but it is by fear. Let us remove this wrong notion from our head. Love, love, love everybody. All will suffer from lavaria, but nothing will happen. Husband and wife stay together in our country for many years. I guarantee you, never because of love. They live together because of understanding. Love leads to misunderstanding. I'll tell you an example. Somebody somebody phoned me. Swamiji, I want to come to you. I said, no, please don't. I am very busy. And in my talk, I said, the person who got the food for me, so I am eating, you call me later. No, before you drop the phone, you tell me you don't come, but how come that person has come to your house to take food? So I am answerable to everybody. See friends, this Adi Bhautik level existence is the grossest one. So those who are living as the body, for them the puja of the Vigraha, there should be the altar. Okay? This thought what I am telling is from Ramayana, where Hanumanji says this thought. Deha buddhyatu dasosmi, jiva buddhyat padam shakaha, atma buddhyat tvamevaham, iti venischitamatihi. When I take myself to be the body, Adi Bhautik, then, O Lord, I am thy Das, not Adidas. Actually, this Adidas is originally a Bengali who started this thing. So, Deha Vidya, living at the Adi Bhautik level, our puja will be of the same kind. And then there will be too many do's and don'ts, rules and regulations. If you are doing Shiva's puja, you should offer only the white flowers. You cannot offer Shiva Tulasi Patra. You have to offer only the Bilva Patra. If you are doing the puja of Devi, you cannot offer white flowers. You have to offer only the red flowers. If you are worshipping Lord Vishnu, you cannot offer white chandan or the vibhuti. There you have to offer only the yellow chandan and no vibhuti. Tulasi Patra is fine. So at a grosser level, there are too many do's and don'ts. And these too many do's and don'ts in puja, karma kanda is meant for keeping us occupied. No other reason. And after having lived that life of introducing a sense of discipline, then one grows, matures. Like one cannot continue to be in KG1 throughout life, we have to grow. No, but I like that miss, so I want to be in KG1. But now you are 18 years of age, if you like that miss, get married. So, we cannot continue all the time at Adi Bhautik level. When we grow, we come at the Adi Daivik level. Now the concern for us is that whatever I am doing in this world, where is the impact of that action? Such people, they say, instead of pouring milk on that stone called as Shivalinga, why don't you give it to the poor people to drink? So, they are now slowly expanding from the form to the formless. See? The form is Adi Bhautik. The Adi Daivik is formless. Jiva does not have any form. See? Like the light. Can we say in the tube light the light is tubular and in the bulb the light is bulby? No. Light doesn't have any shape, any form. In the same manner, life doesn't have any shape and form. Otherwise, what will be the tragedy? One jiva is in the elephant body, of the size of the elephant jiva is. Then his next life is that of an ant. How will he get into that ant? They are too small. No. There is no form for the Adi Daivik. These Adi Daivik things are called as functional aspect, that is expressing through the structural things. Like eyes are structural, Adi Bhautik. Vision is Adi Daivik functional aspect. And therefore, if you have glasses, you can have different types of glasses, different shapes. If you are Lord Shiva, then suffer. Because Lord Shiva, if he has glasses, where will he put the third one? That has always been my concern. How must be that glass frame if Shiva gets chashma? Whether it is horizontal parallel to do this or it's vertical. And how he must be looking like the crows looking like this. So this vision does not have any form. It is Adi Devi, functional aspect. Now what is expressing through the eyes as the vision is the mind. So mind is adhyatmic as regards the eyes are concerned. At this point I am giving you many examples. So structural eye is Adi Bhautik, vision is adhyatmic, and that which is expressing through the eyes as the vision, that mind is adhyatmic. Therefore, when we take our body as the only criteria, we are at a very gross level Adi Bhautik. Deha to Dasosmi. Now for such people, what will be the puja? Puja will be living as the Dasa, the servant of the Lord. See? By the gross body, the only spiritual practice which will be effective is serve. And that is why the Namaskar is done. So when we start serving anybody, Devat Vijaguru Prajna in the Bhagavad Gita, the teacher tells. The tapasya at the body level is respect everyone. So when you have to serve, you have to first of all give up your laziness. A lazy person cannot serve. Suppose in the morning the Guru wants tea at 4 o'clock and he is waiting. Maharaj, this is not good. It's not good for your health. You should not take. 8 o'clock is fine. So if you are serving, you cannot afford to be lazy. That is why the pujas are done early in the morning. Most of the houses, the puja is done by the VRS victims. And they never do the puja early in the morning. They will get up very slowly and they read newspaper. Because unless they read some terrible news, they can't evacuate. There is a kind of a purgation after they hear or read something terrible, really, chalo. And thereafter, they will like to read the news and have a cup of tea and then go to the neighbors. Are Gupta ji, koi khabar hai kya? See? And by the time they come home, it is 12 o'clock, 12:30, and then they will take bath. Till then, all the gods are waiting. Are jaldi aa jao, fir bathroom jana hai. That is not the way puja is done. Puja is done early in the morning at 5 o'clock, 4:30, because that is the only way we can discard laziness in life. So the puja at the Adi Bhautik level is meant for conquering the three enemies which are operating on us at the Adi Bhautik level. They are Alasya Nidra Pramad. Laziness, excessive sleep, and Pramad, doing the same mistake again and again and again. This is Adi Bhautik Puja. If this is happening, then our Adi Bhautik Puja is successful. Otherwise, it is a total calamity. Then a person, he who is thus doing this puja, he becomes single-pointed, quality of thought changes, the direction of thoughts changes, and he is able to look beyond is individuality. And when he develops this, then he goes to the next step called as Adi Daivik Puja. In that Adi Daivik Puja, he is no more limiting himself only to the house personal god or temple, but now he is expanding in the world. And in that expansion, all the social activities, they are done as the worship of the Lord and not as a Samaj Seva, not as the serving the society as a social project, no. See friends, get this point, it's very important. Most of the people who are engaged in the social service, they lack this particular point. Whatever we do for the society, we must clearly understand. Society doesn't need us or our activities. It is our need that we are serving the society. Then only the humility will come. See? In one of my talks I was talking, never entertain thought of compassion. Compassion is a negative feeling. It is not a good feeling. Compassion means, you feel bad. Oh, poor fellow, he doesn't get proper food to eat. Why God has created this thing? Oh, and keep on eating chocolate and ice cream and feel pity. I feel very compassionate for the poor Indians. Whenever you have compassion for someone, you belittle that existence. See? So we are having attention only on the gross aspect. Now look into the divine aspect of the same person. And when you start looking at the divine aspect of the same person, you will not have compassion, but you will serve with reverence and love. See friends, therefore, when the Adi Bhautik Puja has purified the mind, disciplined the mind, and because of that we rise above the individuality, Vyakti. Now we go from the Vyakti to the Abhivyakti. Now our puja is not sitting in the temple or a house for half an hour, 1 hour. That is not good. You must have seen, in these various kinds of katha on TV, you must have seen. When the kathakar is doing the katha, it's all standardized. On one corner there will be one big square like this with the white bed sheets and gadda. Nobody can go there. And people are sitting. And then this kathakar with tabla beti, hame to loot liya, they will start it. And when they start their bhajan and kirtan, chutti chutti gaiya, lambe lambe baal. And then these fellows will suddenly get up. Those who have never in their life smiled or moved their body, only the stomach moves. Then they will come and they will stand Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and the TV turns on. इतने बड़े बाबूजी हो के नाच रहे भगवान के बड़े भगवान. And after that is over, then the servants, the drivers, they are treated like dirt. See friends, that is not the way. See, don't look at the world as Vyakti. They are the Abhivyakti. As much the vision in my eyes, so much is the vision in your eyes. As much I suffer from the pangs of hunger, so much you suffer from the pangs of hunger. But we are concerned about our hunger. It's okay. No. See? Therefore, rising from the Adi Bhautik to the Adi Daivik level is this understanding. Now, no more living as a Vyakti, but living as Abhivyakti. Be attentive. These bulbs, individually, Adi Bhautik level, there are many Vyakti. But in them the light is Abhivyakti. And that Abhivyakti, the light, does not have preference whether this light is illuminating the Lord, the temple, and that light is illuminating only a toilet. It makes no difference to the light. The light doesn't become holy or unholy. In the same manner, hunger, whether it is mine or yours, it is hunger principle. See? You must have been chanting, that Devi Stotra, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetya Vidhiyate Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshuddharupena Samstita Sarva Bhuteshu Ya Kshuddharupena Samstita. The hunger in all beings is that goddess. See, friends, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshanti Rupena Samstita. All expressions of life are common in the total creation. Coming to that Abhivyakti manifestation level in our spiritual practice is called as the Adi Daivik Puja. See? And therefore, in our scriptures, very great emphasis is given for Annadan. There are many temples where even if you want to give food, there is no date free. Because all the 365 days are already booked for the whole life. Because the idea is, when I feed so many people, I get punya. Who is this? And the body doesn't get punya papa. They embodied the jiva. And what is the punya? Punya is, or merit is, expansion from the vyakti, the individuality, to the abhivyakti, the manifestation. This is the Adi Daivik Puja. See? And when this is done, then we come to the ultimate Parapuja, the Adhyatmic Puja. And it is this Parapuja that we have been studying for last 4 days. Oh God! Why you make the thing so complicated? How will I maintain my market? We try to create as much confusion as possible. And this is what I learned from Bhagavan's Krishna. See? How when Arjuna tells Bhagavan Krishna, Senayor Ubayor Madhya Radham Sthavayamechyuta, Arjun tells, O Bhagavan, Hey Achyuta, never failing one, take the chariot between the two armies. Now Bhagavan Krishna could have taken the chariot in front of Duryodhana straight away. No Bhagavad Gita would have been born. So, Bhishma Drona Prabhupataha, Sarvesham cha Mahikshita, of all the kings in the enemy line, Bhagavan Krishna took the chariot in front of Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya. And after having taken there, he doesn't keep quiet, then he is not Krishna. And then he says, you want to fight, fight with your own near and dear. And then the moha, the delusion comes. See? So whenever there is a situation of delusion in your life, and because of that, you don't become depressed, but you turn towards the spiritual path, then that event of your life is the Arjuna Vishada Yogonam. See, friends. And therefore, Bhagavan created this situation for every one of us. So, delusion or confusion is the foundation of spiritual evolution. Narayana. And when we come to the Parapuja, then the meaning of all the limbs of the puja, they keep changing. So what are the limbs? We have seen right from the beginning. Like, first of all, how can we do the puja of this absolute, infinite, conscious, blissful reality that we are? Then, Purnasya Avahanam Kutra. How can we invoke the infinite? Infinite is that which is including everything. So nothing can be done to do Avahanam. Similarly, Asanam cannot be given because he is the substratum of everything. In this manner, all the limbs are indicating that come to recognize your infinite, conscious, blissful self that you are. The recognition of this self is called as Parapuja. Through every action. And when this becomes the mainstay of our life, then we are all the time in tune with the divine. Yogaratova, Bhogaratova. External expressions do not make any difference. Therefore, we have taken the tambulam. Now, pradakshinahi anantasya yadvayasya kuto natihi vedavakaya vedyasya kutastotram vidhiyate. Anantasya pradakshinaha kutaha. Yesterday we have seen the infinite is the one which includes everything. It cannot be encircled by anything. Because that which includes everything, how can you go out of it? Therefore, what will be the pradakshina of the Ananta? Ever in tune, centered towards the self. That is the pradakshina. Yesterday we told you, pradakshina is, we take the clockwise going around the Lord, but the attention is on the center where the Lord is. In the same manner, move around in the world, but be centered in the divine principle. And how can we be centered in divine principle? Remain aware of. When we are aware of our figure, what we do? Any time anything is given to us to eat, we first of all pick up that packet. Calorie kitni hai, cholesterol. I think I cannot take. Because we are aware of our figure. So living in awareness means what? Living in awareness means three principles. Number one, we live, we let others live. We don't cheat others, we don't get cheated by others. And third, we remain happy and cheerful. We don't make others miserable. Satchidananda. Living in this understanding is pradakshina anantasya. Therefore, never a thought of destruction should come in our mind. Either destroy yourself or destroy others. The other day somebody from Europe asked me about somebody. Kamili, is that lady still alive? I said, Amma, first you die and then she will die. No, you are becoming angry. I said, this is not the way to inquire about somebody. You don't inquire. Oh, jinda hai kya? Abhi mar gaye. No, I casually asked. I said, casually you cannot ask about somebody's survival. No, she was old, therefore I was thinking, old age is not a criteria for death. See? There are many old people who refuse. And there are kids, they die. Therefore, this awareness, living in this awareness is called as pradakshana anantasya. Then advayasya kuto natihi. Here we left halfway. So, advaya, the non-dual, how can we do the namaskar? See. So what will be the namaskar to the advaya, the non-dual reality? Yesterday I told you a little bit. Namaskar means also called as namana. Namana means mind doesn't exist. We go beyond the mind. So what is the meaning of going beyond mind? Be attentive. On the surface of the sea, there are many turbulent waves. And if we are sitting in a boat on the surface of the sea, along with the waves, our boat will start also oscillating up and down and we will have problem. But if we leave the boat and dive deep into the sea, maybe maximum, let us say, 10 feet, 12 feet, then there won't be single wave. See, in the same manner, when we are living at the surface level of our personality, then there are nothing but turbulent waves all around us. See, friends. And living at the surface level is living as mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, in-law, outlaw. This is living at the surface level. And when we start living at the surface level, there is nothing but. So what is to be done? Go deep. How to go? Every day you do man that. Going to sleep. What is sleep? We go deep within. And what is the technique of going deep within? We start withdrawing from the world. One by one, one by one, one by one. And ultimately the last Maha Mantra, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, When the I disappears, want disappears. When I and want disappears, the sleep begins. This is the only technique of doing the Parapuja, and the limb is Namaskar. Santa Ganeshwar writes in his writings, Namaskar, something beautifully. He says, I offer salutations to my Guru like the wave offers salutations to the ocean, or the ornament offers salutation to the gold. Yeah. When the wave offers salutation to the ocean, will the wave remain? It will disappear. And the disappearance is called as namana, no more mind, rising beyond the mind, going beyond the mind. See, friends, therefore, advaisya kuto natihi. The usual namaskar, which is done in the duality, that is not the meaning of namaskar. Namaskar will be recognition of the divine principle that is expressing through us. So when the wave comes to discover that it is the ocean who is expressing through me, the wave will never talk about her own autobiography of a wave. See, friends, because wave has no existence apart from the ocean. And when the wave will submit or surrender to the ocean, can that wave have the ego of surrender? Because the very meaning of surrender is, sir, under the water, finished. How there can be an ego? So, advaisya kuto nadihi. Therefore, the real meaning of namaskar at the Parapuja is dissolve your I. When the I is dissolved, then alone the real salutations are offered. And that is why the namaskar is done by bringing your two palms together and bending your head. The two palms are our Kriya Shakti, and head is our Jnana Shakti. This Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti is offered at the altar of that salute. How it is done? Yad yad karma karomi Kriya Shakti Shambho Tamaradhana. See, friends. And when we do everything for the Lord, then the language changes. See friends, once this happened in Varanasi, it was the Ganga Dashera time when I went there, some puja was going on. So they called me, oh Swami has come, today you do the puja. So I went and did the puja, take water from Ganges and give her bath. Gange, Jamuni, Godavari, Sarvade, Narvade, Sindhu Kaveri, Sandhi, Guru, Gauraji, Kunara. Gangaji must be smiling. Like the child takes that banana skin in his hand, it's coming out from everywhere, soiled everywhere. And then he looks at his dad. Papa, I want to share my banana with you. Now that Papa only brought it. And he went there. That time, one becomes antarmukhi. Because by open eyes you cannot eat that. It is so terrible. In the same manner, we take water from the Ganges and offer it. And then with the milk and with the curds and the yogurt and whatnot, everything. And then when vastram samarpayami, big sari is thrown in the Ganges. Everything is done. And after that was done, so when I was sitting, that organizer came, he said, Maharaji, I don't know what my merits of my last life have surfaced. Today we have your darshan, you take for this thing. And he modified the doha from Ramcharitmanas. I said, Maharaj, don't be smart. This is what Tulsidaji never said. This is your understanding. Tulsidaji said, Binu Hari Krupa Mile Nahi Santa. Sadhu Santa do not come in our life as a result of karma phala. Karma phala comes only in the form of joy and sorrows. If satsanga comes in our life, if sadhu santa come in our life, it is the divine grace. It is not our karma phala. Oh, this is how our devotion is also corrupted. A devotee does not fall in the purview of law of karma. See? Because for him, he doesn't do anything. Everything Lord is doing. So when the dual has disappeared, where is the possibility of sin and merit? See friends, therefore, this Parapuja, when we are doing Namaskar, it simply means that the I has to dissolve. Now when the I dissolves, what are the symptoms of absence of I? Only two things. Shita Ushna Sukhadukkeshu Jitatmana. When the complementary pairs of opposite come our way, sometimes joy, sometimes sorrows, sometimes gain, sometimes loss, sometimes friends, sometimes enemies, they come our way. Jitatmana, equanimity of the mind remains untouched. Then only the ego has disappeared. And the second thing, Manapamanayoho prashantasya. The joy, the respect and the disrespect does not create any scratch on our mind. These two things. When these two things happen, they are not done. I am using the word happen. If they are done, again ego is born. See? There was one person, he came out of satsang. Swamiji, I have given up my ego. Therefore, not like others coming and sitting in the front row. I sit near the shoes because I have no ego. Is it okay? I said, I don't know, you may be looking after the shoes. Not listening to me. Somebody may take away my shoes. See friends, that is not the meaning of lack of ego. When ego disappears, these two things happen. Prashanta and undisturbed. then only the real namaskar is done. Now, one more point in this. When we are doing namaskar, we are benefited. The one to whom the namaskar is offered is not benefited. Get this point very clear. So whenever we respect somebody, that person doesn't get anything. But because of the reverential attitude in our heart, it is we who are benefited. And therefore, when namaskar is done in a right spirit and word, then we will always be blessed and extremely happy that we could offer our salutations at an altar. See, this principle I discovered many years before. These things don't come in books. I was once invited in one place in Assam to address an orphanage. The Rotary Club people had called me, so Rotary thing was over and they second lecture. And when I saw about 60-70 children, all age groups, some child is holding another child in his lap, like that, from lap level up to the 10th standard, 12th standard, and all boys and girls sitting like this. And when I had to talk, I was completely dumbfounded. What do I talk to them? What can you talk to children? You are the unwanted product of the lust of some two people? What do I talk? Friends, those who do not have the altar of reverence in the form of something higher in their life, they are poorer than the poorest in the world. Such people can never have peace. So when I saw that, it was going in my mind again and again. And then I happened to be in US. My neighbor was an old couple. So I just, like by our Indian tradition, for the first time, this happened 20-30 years before. So when I went just to say, hello, how are you? Uncle, mom, how are you? He said, I am not your mom. Call me Maggie. I said, I told you how to 2 minutes. So I said, okay Maggie, how are you? I am fine. Who are you? Why you have come? I said, I am your neighbor, I come from India. Because in India we think when man and woman are together, normally they are supposed to be husband and wife. But this is not true in other countries. They are only man and woman, or they may not be man and woman. Narayana. So, then that time when the man came down. So I said, he's your son? Yes. And then her husband started telling. He's our son, he's adopted, he's not our own son. We adopted him when he was in the orphanage. And last 30 years, they were 30 years, last 30 years, he is digging all the records wherever available and trying to find out his parents, what is his origin. And finally he found, in Calgary, in Canada, his mother was stressed, and when he went there, she was a prostitute, and because of the gangrene, her leg was cut. So when he showed the papers, he said, yes, with these papers, you should be my son, but you go away, I don't need you, because anyway, you are you, I am me, over. A person who doesn't have an altar of reverence in his or in her life is poorer than the poorest. It is for this purpose, find out something, somebody wherein you surrender 100%. Let it be anything. Call it God, call it Guru, call it temple, call it work, anything. And then only the namaskar will happen. And when we salute to somebody, that time what happens is we are having an experience of blissful disposition. Because we are offering the namaskar. So, advaisya kuto natihi. When the namaskar means disappearance of the ego, then alone it is the real puja of the non-dual absolute reality. Then Veda Vakyaira Vedyasya Kutaha Stotram Vidiyate. Then we chant the stotras before the Lord. Chiro Mera Pato Bhalam Tajadatmanaha Kausalero Jopato Vishwamitra Preshati Granam Madhavakatrada. We do the stotra. Now here, Veda Vakyahi Avedyasya. That which cannot be even described by the authority of the scriptures, the Vedas. To that Paramatma, how can we have the stuti? And what is the stuti? Nothing but abusing. Lambodhara, Pitambar, Pradipara, Ram, 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 Ram. Pot-bellied one. Is it a stuti? Shurpakarna. Therefore, no stuti can be offered. Friends, therefore, what will be the real stotra? The real stotra is Maunam Vyakhya Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam Vivanam Varshishthante Vasatrashiganaihi Avrutam Brahmanishthaihi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam Swatma Ramam Muditavadanam Sri Dakshinamurti Pide. Therefore, the real stotra chanting in praise of the divine is mouthshut.com. And nothing to talk about. Every thought, every word takes us away from ourselves. And when we go away from ourselves, what happens? We are Sat Chit Ananda. Go away from the Sat, you end up in Asat. Go away from the Jnanam, you end up in Ajnanam. Being blissful, go away from the bliss. Blisters will come. See? Therefore, the real stotram, the real praising the Lord, is the ability to remain thought-free. See? Stotra is chanted by the Vaikhari Vani. Mantra is done by the Madhyama Vani. Mauna is observed in the Pashyanti Vani. And when we go beyond the presence and absence of thoughts, whether the thoughts are there or they are not there, it makes no difference. Then we have entered the Paravani. And therefore, here the teacher says, Veda Vakyahi Avedyasya Kutam Stotram Vidhiyate. What kind of stotra you can chant? There cannot be any chanting of stotra. See, there was one Mahatma, young boy in his teenage. He happened to meet Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, a Danish boy. 3 days he sat there, and thereafter Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi said, don't talk nothing. He said, yes, Shunyata. And he got the message. And he was calling himself as Shunyata. Actually, Shunyata is a Bhavavachak naam It is abstract noun. It is not a noun of a person. But he started calling it Shunyata. Shunyata means absence of everything, and this absence is supported by something which can never be absent. Because it is beyond the presence and the absence. This is what is called as the real meaning of chanting the stotra in favor of God. Therefore, this practice which we have been talking again and again, I am repeating it shamelessly. Stop talking to yourself. And before we talk, ask, is it necessary to talk? 99% problems of the life will be solved. We talk and regret. See? In many houses it happens. कहना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन कह देती हूँ कि आपकी बहू अच्छी है, हमारी बहुत घटिया है. When you know कहना नहीं चाहिए, why don't you keep your mouth shut? See, friends, and this habit of non-stop talking, commenting, and argumentation is such a terrible habit. God save from that. See? Therefore, when somebody comes and talks to you, argues every now and then on everything, and such people, they don't want to listen to anyone. They will increase their pitch and prove what they want to say. So once or twice you can listen. Third time, select, shift, delete. Instead of, therefore this principle has helped me a lot. Instead of forgiving somebody, forget everybody. How can we forget? Don't say that. Our ability to forget is not ordinary. When we have forgotten our divine nature, why can't we forget the devil nature of others? See? So this forgetting ability we have, that is our Saiva. Therefore, Veda Vakyena Vedyasya Kutaha Stotram Vidhiyate. No more blabbering inside the mind or to the world. Then how to live in this world? As you are listening to me, in the same manner listen to the world. How many times we have been listening? Could anybody change us? I am challenge all the Mahatmas of the world. Try to improve. Why this is so? Asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punah punah. I am untouched by the wisdom. The truth we don't like. See? One person, as my habit goes, I call Mahatma ji आइए, कैसे हो भगवान, प्रभु ठीक है ना? So when Swami, the first time we met, and Swami, you don't call me Mahatma, I feel very awkward. I said, okay, we are cool, buddy. So when I called Mahatma, he didn't listen. But when I called Bevakoof, he heard. In the same manner, if we are told you are Satchidananda Paramatma hai, then if you are Bevakoof, now such people, they get angry, not because they are called Bevakoof. Their question is, how come he also knows? See, right? Therefore, to be at peace with yourself. And when you are at peace with yourself, then you will see the divinity alone will manifest through us. This divinity manifests through every one of us. But we don't recognize this is that. Etad vaitat. Kathopanishad. Ether Vaitha. This is that. When an ordinary ignorant person eats Rasgulla, he thinks the sweetness is coming from Rasgulla. But a wise man knows that the sweetness of his own being is sprinkled on that object and he is licking his own sweetness. Mahatmas give this example. There was a stray dog and he saw somewhere a piece of bone. He immediately lifted and you must have seen. If the dogs get something to eat, they don't eat there. They lift it and run here and there. They want to go and sit so no other dog comes and takes. And he sat there and then started eating the dry dead bone. Nothing in there. And because it was sharp and he was eating, the buccal cavity became lacerated, started bleeding. See how nice this, tasty. But fools in this world, nobody has seen this lovely bone. I am so lucky, I am very intelligent. And again he eats, so nice, not knowing he is licking his own blood and superimposing that on that bone which is dead and dry. Exactly the same way. Happiness doesn't come from the worldly objects. When we desire the worldly objects, mind is disturbed. When we get the desired object, mind's disturbances cease. Undisturbed mind is Paramatma. How can we talk about that Paramatma? Katham stotram vidhiyate. Therefore, as we grow wise, we start remaining at peace with ourselves first. And a person who is at peace with himself, he alone is at peace with the whole world. A person who is at war with himself, he cannot be at peace in the world. And such persons, they are not accepted. People try to avoid them. Oh God, Vedanti aaya, bhaago. See? Our Vedantic knowledge is like a human odomos. Nobody wants us around. The reason being, only this non-stop blabbering goes on. Therefore, the real chanting the glory of the Lord is only through the eloquence of silence. Kadam stotra vidhiyate. This is what Dakshinamurti Stotra, Dhyana Shlokas say this. Chitram Vatataror Mule Vruddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. Chitram, Vichitram, wonder of all wonders. Vatataroho Mule, below the banyan tree, near the root. Vruddha Shishya Guru Yuva. The Guru is young and the Shishyas are old and dilapidated. And the Guru was giving the discourse in the eloquence of silence. And Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. And all the doubts in the minds of the disciples were dispelled. So see the contradiction. Because the truth is revealed only in the silence. Friends, many of us have got this one problem about taking decisions. If you want to learn the art of taking decisions, sit before the Lord, properly take bath and honor fresh, and chant 3 times the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter. Karpanya dosho bhavatasvabhavaha Vrikshami tvam dharma sammudha cheta Yasreyasya nishchitam bruhitam me shishyas deham shanimam tvam prapannam. Thereafter, put your doubt or dilemma before the Lord. Oh Lord, what should I do? You will get the answer from within. Because the silence that the mind is the storehouse of all the solutions. Disturbed mind is a mine of problems. And when you start listening your own inner voice, then you will understand the meaning of this statement that Vedavakera Vedyasya Kutastotram Vidiyate. What is the meaning of chanting the glory of the Lord in the absolute utter silence will be understood. In tomorrow's concluding session, we will try to finish this Parapuja and we will continue to live. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.